Your immune system is your first line of defense. Truth be told, every moment of every day, we are being exposed to pathogens, be it bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi, and that is in our external environment. The immune system, your immune system, is what protects your internal environment from those external pathogens. So important to keep it functioning optimally so that you can stay well on a daily basis. Welcome to Tailored Health. I'm Taylor Wessel, nutritionist, and every Wednesday I pop on here to share a tip, tool, or technique with you to help you be your healthiest self. Today, we're diving deep into the immune system, and I am going to share 5 foods, supplements, different techniques that will help you to boost your immunity, whether you are looking to fight off a common cold or flu, COVID-19, even seasonal allergies, just to keep your system functioning well on a daily basis. These are so helpful. Number 1 is vitamin C. This is highly correlated with boosting the immune system. And vitamin C is actually a water-soluble nutrient, so it's important to, whether you're supplementing or eating foods, to get it in throughout the day, because if you take in large doses at one period of time, it will just flush through your system. Some foods to incorporate include citrus fruits, that's most commonly associated with vitamin C, so your lemons, limes, and oranges. Also broccoli, strawberries, bell peppers, these are great foods to incorporate into your diet, but also supplementing is really important, and I recommend that most people take about 1,000 milligrams at least a day. And if you can even split that in 2 different doses, one with breakfast, one with lunch, of 1,000 milligrams each, that would be great to make sure that you are really boosting your vitamin C throughout the day and it's not just flushing through your system. If you are interested in an aggressive immune boost, you can do a vitamin C flush. So if you're interested in learning more about that, just shoot me a message and I can share with you how to go about that, but that really gets everything cleaned out of the system. Vitamin C, so great for the immune system. The next nutrient that I recommend boosting up on in efforts to support your immune system is vitamin D. Vitamin D is so powerful that it actually works as a hormone within the body, and every single one of your 100 trillion cells has receptors for it. The best source of vitamin D is actually the sunshine, but in the cooler, darker, shorter days and months, it's important to make sure that you are either supplementing or getting in food sources, because we're just not as exposed, unless you're living in Florida or one of the sunnier states, we're just not exposed to that sunshine during the fall and winter months. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble nutrient, so it is best taken with foods. And I recommend, especially during cold and flu season and when you are really looking to boost up your immune system, to take about 5,000, at least 2,000 IUs, if not 5,000 IUs every single day, and to test your vitamin D levels every 6 months. You have to request this by your primary care physician. They don't just necessarily run this test without you asking for it, but that will let you know if you need to supplement more or less. And you want your value to be, your blood work for vitamin D, to be about 50 nanograms per milliliter or higher. 50 to 80 is a great range to look for. Supplementing vitamin D is not only great for the immune system, but also great for hormonal balance, boosting the mood, which helps with seasonal affective disorder. There are so many benefits to vitamin D. Also great for the bones, keeping the bones strong. Vitamin D works with calcium to make sure that you're strengthening and remodeling the bones as they're breaking down. There are some food sources of vitamin D, but they're not a great they're not a great concentrated dose, so supplementing is really important. If you do want to look for food sources, I would seek out pasture-raised eggs, and I will link below to my favorite brand. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon is another source, sardines, and then a vegetarian source is cremini mushrooms. So make sure that you're getting these foods in your diet, and you're also supplementing with vitamin D, especially if you are on the lower end of the spectrum. The third nutrient or supplement that I highly recommend getting in to boost your immunity is probiotics. 70 to 80% of your immune system is located in your gut. That's crazy. So that's most of your immunity is located in your gut, which is your entire digestive tract and mostly your colon. When we're talking about the gut, that's really what we're focusing on. Probiotics are your good gut bacteria, and oftentimes due to lifestyle and dietary factors, whether it be a high sugar intake, different medications that you're on, high stress levels, not sleeping great, this balance can get thrown off, and you can have more bad gut bugs such as candida that tend to overgrow, or small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, rather than the good gut bugs. So your immune system will be compromised in that case. Taking probiotics can help to support those good gut bugs, so it can boost your immunity. It also supports digestion, fighting off hunger and cravings, regulating your mood. 90% of your feel-good serotonin is actually made in the gut as well. So while you're taking probiotics and regulating that bacteria balance, you're doing so much more than just boosting your immunity. I recommend, if you're taking just an average probiotic that you'll find in the refrigerated section, is to take that on an empty stomach before bed. And you want to look for at least 20 billion CFU, colony forming units. This is really important when you're looking for a probiotic with 5 strains, if not more as well. And I'll link below to a couple brands that I recommend. Now, if you are taking a probiotic that is soil-based, you do want to take that with a meal. So lunch would be a good time to take that. It's good to rotate your probiotics, so not to do them for too long, so that you're making sure that you are keeping your microbiome diverse and you're getting in a lot of different strains. So maybe you start with a soil-based probiotic and then you move to one that's more refrigerated and made in the lab. That would be that 20 billion, if not higher, CFU with at least 5 different strains. Probiotic-rich foods include fermented vegetables. So whether that be sauerkraut or fermented cabbage and beets, you can look for these in the refrigerated section. Usually in the vegetarian or vegan section, they will have these. Natto, miso is another one. Even yogurt will have live cultures, but make sure that you're not reacting to dairy. Dairy can actually slow down the immune system and be mucus forming. So you want to be careful about that when you are looking to boost immunity. The next tip, number 5, is to, on the same lines of probiotics and boosting your good gut flora, is my 4th tip, to lower your sugar intake. Sugar feeds bad gut bugs such as candida. And so when you're intaking a lot of sugar, that's maybe not just coming from the obvious sources such as candy, chocolate bars, maybe different add-ins for your coffee in the morning, the mocha chocolate that you're getting at Starbucks. Also processed carbohydrates, so flour products, bread products, pasta. These simple carbohydrates are processed the exact same as sugar when they get into your bloodstream. So really cutting back on this as much as possible and focusing on high fiber foods, such as vegetables in their whole form, fruits, whole grains with all parts intact, not just the starchy component as seen in pasta and bread and flour products, but also the endosperm and the germ and the bran. These are the 3 components that are intact and that are loaded with good gut fiber that will feed your microbiome, seen in grains such as brown rice, quinoa, millet, amaranth. These are all also gluten-free. So lowering your sugar intake, super important when it comes to boosting the immune system. My last tip, number 5, is to ensure that you are getting good quality sleep. Sleep is when your body shuts down at night and you go into restore and repair mode. Your body kind of cleans up the damage from the day, your immune system boosts, you reboot, everything, all the bad damage from the day gets washed out of the system, your brain memories form. There's so much that happens during sleep. It seems like a very inactive process because you're shutting down, but there's a lot of inner workings within the body. In order to get good quality sleep, I recommend going to bed earlier. The hours before midnight count for double as far as quality goes. So if you can just make it a practice to get to bed by 10 o'clock rather than maybe 2 o'clock, even if you're getting those 8 hours of sleep, you will get so much more bang for your buck. So making sure you get a good night of sleep. You want to make sure that you're limiting that blue light exposure within the hour of bedtime. You're dimming lights, so just being aware of screens and any of that incoming light to your eyes that's sending mixed signals. Coming up with some ways to kind of relax for the day, whether it be reading a book, lighting a candle, inhaling some essential oils, doing some deep breathing or meditation, whatever it is to kind of shift from the crazy of the day into the slow down of the night to prepare you for sleep. Rather than watching TV, maybe you read a book or a magazine, but something light that won't be stimulating you. Whatever you can do to get to sleep earlier and support good quality sleep, so important for the immune system. So there you have it, the top 5 foods, supplements, and lifestyle habits that will help you to boost your immune system. And as a recap, that's vitamin C, whether you're supplementing or making sure to get in those vitamin C rich foods. Vitamin D, same deal, just make sure that you're taking this with food because it is fat soluble and best absorbed with some kind of fat. Probiotics, and unless you are taking soil-based probiotics, these are best taken on an empty stomach, preferably right before bed, but if you're somebody who skips breakfast, maybe you take them in the morning instead. Lowering your sugar intake. Remember, sugar feeds those bad gut bugs and kind of diminishes the probiotics, the good gut bugs within your system, and 70 to 80% of your immune system is within that gut. And the last one is just doing whatever you can to support good quality sleep. If you liked this video, give it a like, share it with somebody that could use the tip, or anybody really right now could or ever could use to boost their immune system. This is so powerful. Give these guys a helping hand because they are at bat for you every single day. Your immune system, your warriors, your soldiers, fighting off the outside world and keeping you strong, energized, and balanced throughout even the craziest of exposures and stressful situations. And also, if you liked this video and want more, subscribe to my channel. Every Wednesday I'm coming at you, and next week I'll have a tip for you or a tool that will be hot. So stay tuned for that. Have a great day.